Thanks for stopping by Bearded Appliance Repair, guys. Got a very common washer here, Whirlpool top load washer that is not getting any water. I'm cheating here. I'm getting into Diagnostics to test the hot and the cold valves, and I'll get into Diagnostics a little bit later, but just to show you guys right off the bat, this is the cold valve. Water's just trickling in, and here's the hot. Nothing, just a drip, but actually the hot's off, and I'll get into that later too. But running the hot and the cold valves here, we're not getting any water, and the first thing you really want to do before you go and buy yourself a water valve is make sure that you guys have good water pressure at the wall, and that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to check the cold water. On the hot side, they have an issue with that valve leaking, so we're not going to mess with the hot valve, and I'll get into that later. So we're just going to show you guys how to do it on the cold side. Pretty much get yourself some channel locks, make sure that water's off, get out that water line. I always stick it right into the tub, turn the valve back on, see if we got good water pressure. And we do. We got good water pressure on this, so likely 100% it's going to be that water valve. You can always look in where those hoses go and see if there's any debris in there, because you know, as these pipes get older, sediment and stuff can come through, so you can always check those screens. So just look into where those hoses connect to. But this here, I'm trying to show you guys that this hot valve does leak, so the customer does have to take care of this. I mean, as an appliance guy, we're not licensed to do any plumbing work, so I can't take care of this for them. But there it is. There's a leak on that hot valve there. So the customer's going to take care of that. And these washers, guys, they do use hot water, even if you have it set to cold. I mean, there's a thermostat inside these water valves, and whenever it calls for cold water, they want it to be a certain temperature. So if your incoming water, say you live in the northeast, and I don't know what your water temp is, let's say it's 40 degrees, coming in, then say it wants to be 60, so it'll put in hot water to make that temperature 60 degrees. So a little bit about that. You want to use hot water with your washer. It's not like the old ones. These things are too smart. But yeah, we need a water valve on this thing. Really easy to do. What you need is a putty knife. I believe it's a T20 torque bit and some channel locks. And that's really all you need to change out this water valve. There's two different types too, and it's all about the wire connection. Yeah, you'll either have an 8-pin connector or a 4-pin connector. This one here is the 8-pin connector one. And again, I mean, that's really the only difference is a 4 or an 8-pin connector. But yeah, for this valve, you get those hoses off the back. Make sure that water's off before you take those hoses off. And then you got that torque bit. And it may be a T15 or a T20. I can't remember. But if you guys have a torque bit set, you should have one in there that will fit. So once you get that torque bit, you got 2 screws holding it on. I know, can't really see them, but there's 2 of them in their chrome color, so you guys can't really miss them. So yeah, now you just get that wire connection off. You guys can just follow the wires from the valve to where it connects onto the control board there, but then you just push that back panel back, and then you can flip it towards you on the top side, and she'll come right out on you. And got the new valve here, and we're going to do the opposite of what we did to get it out. I'm going to put it in and push that panel back and flip it into place, and we are going to secure it with those torque screws. Not much to it, guys. And there's that sensor I was talking about. It looked like the older one didn't have one, but the new valve does. And this is the valve that the model number calls for. So this one does have a thermistor on it. The one I took out did not, but this valve will work. It'll do just fine, but you will need hot water on this one, like I was saying before. But yeah, we got the screws in and putting the panel back on. I mean, with that putty knife and those clips, I mean, that's awesome. You don't need to take any screws out to get that panel off. But we got that valve in, panels on. We're going to put the hoses on. I always back it off, let it fall into place, and then I screw it on so you guys do not cross thread these things. I mean, whenever I first started doing this, I cross threaded a few of them, and yeah, it can turn into a nightmare trying to get those hoses back on if you cross thread it. So yeah, once you get them on hand tight, you want to turn it about a quarter turn, and she's good to go. Turn the water on, make sure there's no leaks, plug the washer back in, and give her a good test. And now, once we get this washer plugged back in, we're going to get into Diagnostics and show you how to get these things checked quickly, and you don't have to wait for that lid lock or whatever to come on. But so, getting her plugged in, you want to get to this knob, that middle knob, and the sequence is left, right, 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 left, right. And if it don't work, try it again. This here, it didn't work, so I did a full turn, then left, right, 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 left, right. And you want to do it within that amount of time too, guys. And you turn it to where you see the 2 dots on the right, hit start, and that puts you into the test mode. The first test is going to be lid lock, second test cold valve, third test hot valve. So I know that was a little quick for you guys. That was just a quick test for me to let me know that it's working. So I'm going to get out of Diagnostics just by holding the start button for about 5 to 10 seconds. And then I'm going to slow it down a little bit for you guys. We're going to get back into Diagnostics. So you always want to start left, then right, 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 left, right. You know you're in Diagnostics because you'll see those lights there. Now 3 turns to the right will put it into service mode once you hit that start button. That first test, lid lock. Second test, whenever you turn it 1 additional times, cold valve. And then the hot valve. You also got the drain pump test, which is 3 lights lit up there. And I've memorized this. I've done this 100 times or more. It might be getting closer to 1,000. I don't know. But I've done this so many times, I've memorized it by now. That's how I always do it. I mean, being a technician in the field, it's all about saving time. Saving time saves money. Saves money means you make more money, and yada, yada, yada. Anyways, that's one for you guys. Washer not filling. Whirlpool, one of the more common washers out there. So if this helps, give me a like, subscribe, and I appreciate y'all watching.